I walked into hell so my family could be saved. I never believed love could become a punishment. I grew up thinking love was something you were rewarded with. If you were patient, kind, and loyal enough. I believed that if you loved deeply and honestly, life would eventually be gentle with you. I was wrong. Sometimes love is not something you get to keep. Sometimes it is something you are forced to give up, so others can survive. I was 24 years old when my life stopped being mine. Before everything collapsed, my life was simple. I had a boyfriend. The kind of boyfriend you don't just date. That you know. We met in university. He was sitting 2 rows behind me in class, always borrowing my notes, always pretending he forgot his pen just to talk to me. We started studying together, then eating together, then slowly building a life in our conversations. We didn't have much money, but we had dreams. We talked about marriage the way people talk about something real, not something distant. We talked about saving together, renting a small place, growing slowly. He used to say, "We'll struggle for a while, but at least we'll struggle together." With him, I felt safe. Not rich, not spoiled, just safe. He never raised his voice at me, never made me feel small, never treated my love like something disposable. He loved me like I mattered, and I was sure he was the man I would marry. Then my family's world fell apart. It started quietly. Phone calls late at night. My parents whispering in the kitchen. My father staring at the wall like he was counting something invisible. I didn't know the details at first. I just knew something was wrong. Then one night, my parents called me to sit down. I remember the table. I remember the sound of the clock. I remember how heavy the air felt. My father's business had failed. Not just failed, collapsed. There were debts everywhere. Loans, interest. People demanding money we didn't have. My parents were desperate. They sold what they could, borrowed from relatives, promised payments they couldn't keep. Nothing was enough. Then my father told me the truth. "There is a family," he said quietly. "They are very rich. They are willing to help us." My mother couldn't stop crying. "And what do they want?" I asked, even though I already felt the answer forming in my chest. My father looked away. "They want you to marry their son." I laughed, not because it was funny, but because my mind refused to accept it. I said no immediately. I told them I already had someone, that I was in love, that I had a future planned. My mother grabbed my hands and begged me. "If you don't do this," she said, "we will lose the house. Your siblings won't be able to continue school. We will be ruined." That night, I called my boyfriend. I cried so hard I couldn't breathe. I told him everything. There was silence on the phone. Then he said the words that still echo in my head. "Come with me." He said it so easily, so confidently. "We'll leave. We'll start over. I don't care how hard it is. I just want you." I imagined it. Running away. A small apartment. Long days of struggle. But freedom. Love. Then I imagined my parents. My father humiliated. My mother broken. My siblings paying for a debt they didn't create. I was raised to believe that daughters carry the weight when families collapse. So I chose my family. I broke up with the man I loved. Not gently. I had to make him hate me. I told him lies. I told him I didn't love him enough. I told him I was tired of being poor. He begged me to reconsider. He asked me if there was someone else. I said yes, even though there wasn't, because I couldn't let him wait for me, because waiting would destroy him too. The wedding happened quickly. I wore a beautiful dress. Everyone said I was lucky. No one asked if I was happy. My husband was rich, powerful, cold. From the first day, he made it clear I belonged to him. The house was big, quiet, and empty. The doors were locked. The rules were strict. I wasn't allowed to go out alone. I wasn't allowed to work. I wasn't allowed to visit friends. He took my phone. "For your safety," he said. There were cameras in the house. He controlled everything. I cooked. I cleaned. I obeyed. When he came home, he barely spoke to me. And when he wanted me, he came to my room. Not as a husband, as an owner. There was no affection, no conversation, no care. Afterward, he left. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling like my body no longer belonged to me. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. My family's debt was paid. They smiled again. They said I saved them, but no one came to save me. I lived in a house full of luxury and felt poorer than I ever had. I missed my old life. I missed being touched gently, being spoken to kindly, being loved without conditions. Sometimes late at night, I imagined my boyfriend. I wondered if he married someone else, if he still remembered me, if he hated me. I wondered if he ever knew that I chose hell so my family could live. This is not a story about love winning. This is a story about sacrifice. And I want to ask you something. If it were you, would you run away with the person you love and abandon your family? Or would you walk into hell just to save them? I'm Lucy, and this is Unsaid Love.